Hi mums, welcome to today's Slow and Strong Pilates class. So for today's class, we are going to need a small Pilates ball. Now, if you don't have a ball, you can totally still do the class. You can use a small cushion. You can also use a yoga block. You can also just do the entire class without it and just imagine it's there. So don't worry too much about the props. It's just an extra way to challenge our bodies today. It's going to be focused on the lower body, particularly the glutes. Let's get into it. So grabbing a hold of your ball, we're going to place the ball in between the knees. So same thing, if you have a block, you might want to take it on the middle setting, or you can have a little cushion between the knees. Have the feet about hip width apart. Arms are going to extend forward in front of you and very slowly curling your way down onto your mat. You can bring the heels a little bit closer towards the body. Allow the hands just to rest onto the belly. And for a moment, let's just take a couple of deep breaths. So just starting with connection to the body first. Inhale, we'll bring a gentle rise of the palms. And exhaling to soften the body. 5 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Noticing on each in-breath if you can create a little bit more space underneath the hands. And exhale to release. Let's do 2 more. And on your next exhale, let's release the hands to the sides of the body. Your heels are going to draw a little bit closer if you want. Create a gentle pressure into your ball, not to squeeze it, but just kind of to hold it in place and to keep the knees in line with the hips, so to keep the legs parallel. Hands are going to plant down onto the side. Take an inhale. As you exhale, tucking through the tailbone, curling the spine all the way up as you come into a bridge pose, squeezing the glutes at the top, feeling that equal pressure between the left and right foot. And then slowly curling all the way down, almost like you're trying to glue one vertebra down at a time. And then at the end, you'll release through the pelvis. Take an inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, curling the hips up from your hips, lower back, upper back. Squeeze the glutes at the top and curling all the way down. So warming up through the glutes, just finding that articulation. Inhale, exhale, curling all the way up. Gentle squeeze to the ball, almost as if just to engage the inner thighs, not to work them too hard just yet. We'll get there. And slowly curling all the way down. Good, let's do 4 more. Inhale, slowly curl the hips up, finding a nice lift, a squeeze of the glutes at the top. And exhale to curl down. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale, tuck the pelvic floor, tuck the tailbone, and squeezing the hips all the way up. And lower all the way down. Good, let's do 2 more. Tucking the tailbone, tucking through the pelvis, squeezing the hips at the top, and lower down. Good, let's do 1 more. Lifting the hips at the top. Now keeping that lift, trying to find that even distribution between left and right. We're going to lift the heels up and lower. Now try not to compromise that lift of the hips. Let the hips stay up and it's just the heels that are driving up and lower. Good. 5 more and lower. 4 and lower. 3 and 2. Your last one, hold it up. Now start to bring in a gentle squeeze of the ball. So you're going to squeeze it in and release. Try to control both the squeeze in and the release. So we're working slow and strong here. So try to find that control in all your movements and release. Good. 4 more. Squeeze and release. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Gently rolling all the way down. Keep the ball between the knees. Hug the knees in, finding that gentle release in the lower back. And finding a nice little rock from side to side. Good. Holding through the ball, place the feet down onto the floor. A nice little challenge with a roll up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, drop the ball towards the knees, tuck the chin, try to curl up one vertebra at a time and come up into a seated position. We're going to come down onto our hands and our knees. Take the ball into your left hand towards the top of the mat and extending your right leg back. Your right hand's going to be underneath the shoulder, so we're moving through a bird dog position. Your inhale, you'll find a nice stable base. That means pushing through the hand, not arching through the spine, but keeping that core engaged. So you've got a nice straight line from the shoulders to the hips. Inhale, you lift left arm and right leg, and exhale to drop. And lift. Lower. Good. Finding that control. So the arm is moving, the leg is moving, but the body is staying still. Good. Lifting up for 5. And lower. 4. Good. 3. 2. And 1. Hold it up. Reach back. Placing the ball behind that right knee. Now, if you need a little bit of help, use the other hand to bring it really close into the knee crease, squeezing through that hamstring, almost as if you're drawing your heel towards your sitting bones, so that your hamstring is working to keep that ball in place. The ball will drop down, the knee will hover just off the floor, and then kick it up into a donkey kick. Good. Lowering down for 2, and up. Nice. 3. 4. Hands are both planted down on the floor. It's just the leg moving. Good. Let's do 3 more. Lower and lift. 2. And 1. Hold it up at the top. Give little pulses as if you're trying to stamp that right foot onto the ceiling. You're kicking up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold it up. Now, if you're trying to squeeze the hamstring, so imagine you're trying to almost like kick the heel towards the sitting bones. You're squeezing in, release. Stilt enough to hold it there. 2, release the hamstring. 3, 4, 5, 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Lower that knee down. Take the ball into the right hand. Extend it towards the top of the mat. Left leg goes back. Same sequence on the second side. So both right arm, left leg lifts up and lower. Find that control. So the body is staying nice and solid. And it's just the right arm and the left leg lifting up and lower. Good. Lift. Lower. Let's go for 5 more. 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up there, reach back. Let's place this ball behind that left leg or behind the crease of the knee, finding a gentle squeeze into that hamstring to keep the ball in place. That left knee drops down and lift. Nice. 2. Working through the glutes a lot today. Hopefully getting that heat building a little bit into the body. 4. 4 more. 4. 3. 2. On your last one, you're going to take that ball up and find a little pulse as if you're stamping that left foot onto the ceiling. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it in, squeezing the hamstring. Pulsing that ball. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 for luck, 10. Lowering that ball all the way back down. Take the ball out in front of you. Send the knees wide, toes to touch. Holding the ball out and lowering down into a child stretch. Taking nice deep breaths in and exhale. Two more breaths. And then we'll bring the body all the way back up. Once again, ball between the knees, but because we're on our knees, it's going to be almost like a little bit above the knees between the thighs. So you're kind of looking ball placement like that. Have the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, take a nice inhale. As you exhale, push into the hands. Find a nice gentle tuck of the toes and then hover the knees just off the mat. and then slowly lower down. Inhale. Exhale, contract through that core, hover the knees. And lower down. One more, inhale. As you exhale, push through the hands, tuck those toes, lift those knees, and then straighten the legs out and come into a downward dog position. So you're going to draw your heels down towards the floor. You've still got the ball between the knees. A little bit of the inner thighs squeezing there, push through the hands. And just for a moment, feeling that stretch through the lower back, through the back of the legs. Bending into the knees a lot, start to walk your hands all the way back to the mat. And then rolling all the way up into standing. All right. So we're going to come into a standing position. You can adjust the ball so it's nice and comfortable between the knees. You should have your feet about parallel. Hands can just be holding in front of you. We're going to work through squats here, but the focus is we really want to feel that the knees are driving parallel and that there's a lot of control between the knees and an equal distribution between left and right. So we're really focusing on nice stability and also just a little bit of symmetry here. So holding through the hands, you're going to send the hips back, find a gentle squeeze into the ball just to find that stability, lowering down and lift. Good. Bending into the knees, almost as if you're sitting back. See that the knees are not tracking over the toes, so we're getting that drive back into the heels, sitting back into the sitting bones. As you lower down, and bringing it back up. Nice. Let's do 4 more regulars. Lower down, and up. 3. Nice. 2. And 1. Good. Bringing it up, lift the heels, find your balance, hold onto a wall if you need, drop the heels, sit back down into your squat. Bringing it up, lift the heels, lower heels down, lower down into a squat. You choose how low or how high you want to go. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. Squeezing the heels up and lower down. Good. Let's do 3 more like this. Heels up. Woo, find your balance, lower heels into a squat. Nice. Last 2. And lower. Last heel lift. As you come down into the squat, hold it there. Give us 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the legs out, grab a hold of the ball, and you're going to take the feet a little bit wider, so you're almost in a turned out position. So think of like a goddess squat, a wide squat position. Toes are turning out 45 degrees. Ball is going to be between the hands, and I want you to draw the elbows out to the side and give a gentle push into the ball. As we inhale, we prepare. Exhale, lower down, squeezing the ball and coming up. Good. So we're targeting now towards the inner thighs. Squeezing and lift. Good. Once again, focus on finding that even distribution between left and right. So we're not sinking over onto one side. We're trying to find that nice symmetry, getting both legs working the same amount. Lower down and up. Let's do 3 more. Squeezing the ball and up. 2. Lower down on 1, squeezing through the ball and release. 2, release. 3, 4, 5, last 2, 6. Sorry, that wasn't good maths. Last 2 now, and 1. Straighten the legs out, make the feet parallel. We're going to find that same squeeze again as we bend into that right knee, almost like sitting down into that squat with sending the hips back so that you've still got your knee behind your toes and bringing it up. Move over to the other side and bring it up. Good. Side lunges, going down as far as what the hips and the knee feel comfortable with. We want that lower down to be controlled, and the same thing with the lifting up. Over to the right and up and left. Good. Let's do 4 more each side. Squeezing the ball. Almost forgot about that. Squeeze as you lower. Good. 3. And switch. Nice. Last 2. And switch. Last 1 each side. And switch. Bring it up into the center, take the ball onto the floor, lower the body down into a forward fold. You can let your head and neck relax, bend into the knees if it feels a little bit tight in the hamstrings. And then walk the ball over towards that left side, stretching to the left side of the body. Good. Take it over to the right side. Good. Bring it back into the middle. And then bending into the knees, rolling all the way up to standing. One more standing exercise here. Turn the toes out once again, heels in. Once again, squeezing the ball, lower down into your squat. Hold it there. Lift right heel and lower. And left. Lower. Good. Right. And left. 2 more each side, and then I'll give you a challenge. And left. And right. And left. Carry on with alternating or lift both heels and lower. 2. Find your balance. Last 2. And 1. Good. Straightening the legs out. Give them a little bit of a shake. If they're wobbling like mine, trembling a little bit. And then let's take the ball in between the knees. Standing towards the back of the mat. Rolling all the way down. And walking forward into a plank position. So you're going to have the hands underneath the shoulders. If this is tricky for you, lower the knees down onto the floor. Otherwise, plank pose here. Find a nice gentle squeeze through the ball. So we feel those inner thighs engaging. You're feeling the core. You're feeling those shoulders by pushing through the hands. We hold it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering those knees down onto the floor and then drop your right hip down. So you're in a side plank position. So we're going to work through some kneeling side planks. So the goal here is to keep that bottom shoulder strong. We're going to work through the obliques and that lower hip by pushing the hips up and lowering down. Okay, so just starting off here, we'll make it a little bit harder in a moment. But I want you to feel that you're driving through that bottom knee to lift the hips up and lower. Good. Let's do 4 more. And lower. 3, 2. On your last one, take it up, hold it there, and then squeezing from that top leg to squeeze the ball and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going for 8, 7, and 8. Good. Lower your body down. Take the ball into your top hand. Bottom leg is going to stay bent. I didn't give this cue previously, but your knee is just a little bit ahead of your body. So it's not going to be in line. Having it a bit forward is going to give you a nice solid base. And your bottom elbow is going to be underneath your shoulder. All right. So if this next variation is tricky, you're going to stick to option 1 and you're just going to repeat what we just did. Otherwise, you're going to lift up with this top leg. All right. So with the top leg straight. So we come up and lower. So it's just more work for that bottom hip. 2 and down. Good. 3 and lower. 4. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lowering it here, take a quick breather. 1 more variation while I retie my hair. A nice breather for you all. So we have 1 more set. So you've still got option 1, which is the ball between the knees, both knees bent. This option we just did now, or we've already turned up the heat by taking the bottom knee down onto the floor. As we lift up, we take that top leg up to reach the ball and lower down. Let's lift up for 7 and lower. 6, 5. I thought this was going to be hectic for the body, which it is, but my shoulder is also burning. I'm not even counting. Let's do 4 more and lower. 3 and lower. Last two, whoo, and last one. Beautiful. Drop those hips up, drop those hips down. Even my language is going out the door. To be honest, my language hasn't been good today at all, but I know as moms you understand, the mom brain is real. So let's take this bottom elbow down onto the floor, ball between the knees, starting with option 1, 8 rounds of each. Lifting up and lower. Good. 2 and lower. 3, 4. Good. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, take the ball into that top arm. Top leg straightens out, and we're first lifting. Top leg stays lowered, just straightens and lower down. So this is just a little bit more for that bottom hip because you're having to push on its own and lift. And also a little bit more work for the shoulders. This is 4. Nice, let's do 4 more. 4, 3. Nice, last 2. And last 1. Wonderful. Let's take a bit of a breather because I know what's coming. I'm not excited for it, but we're going to do it together. When I started this class, I was feeling very lethargic, but the energy is coming. That's why we do these classes, to get the body going. Okay, bottom elbow down on the floor. Nice push through the arm. You're going to push through that bottom leg, and as you lift up, ball taps to leg and lower down. Good. 7 and lower. 6. 5 more. Whoo, bottom hip is burning. 4. 3. Last 2, let's do it. 2. And 1. Good, lowering yourself all the way down. Push up into a seated position. Let's take the ball back behind us. Step the feet down onto the floor. Just move through a windshield wiper just to get those legs moving from side to side. Good. Take that right leg in front. Hands onto the knees. Nice big circles. You'll feel the hips, you'll feel the glutes, but we need to stretch it out. And then we'll have one more challenge before we finish off our class. Good, change direction. Okay, bring it up. Let's change the other shin in front. Hands onto the knees. Big circles. Whoo. It's amazing how you feel one hip is tighter than the other. For me, it's the left. Working really hard to strengthen these hips. Mostly because I've noticed postpartum how much our hips and lower back can take strain. So strength has really helped me to find more comfort in the day-to-day movements. Let's swap directions. Good. 2 more. And then last one, finishing it off, bring yourself up. Feet are going to step down onto the floor. Going to grab a hold of your ball. Rolling your way down. Let's actually do it nice and pretty. Hold the ball, feet stay planted, slowly curl the body all the way down and come with the ball over the shoulders. Feet step in nice and close. And we're going to do kind of, what is the word for it? Let's give it a name. Let's do it single leg marches, single leg bridge marches. That means nothing to you. Let's go through it. So hands are going to be up. You'll lift the hips up and keep that bridge position. Now, when we draw the ball towards one knee, I want you to try to keep that other hip lifted. And then you lower that foot down, shift the weight, find control. I want you to do it slowly instead of rushing through it and using momentum. All right, let's go together. Drawing one knee towards the ball, keep that hip lifted, swap it over. Pushing through that other heel, draw the knee into the chest. Good. If you want to take the ball all the way up and overhead, you can, but that can place a little bit more intensity on the shoulders and the lower back. So for now, it's just about tapping. Let's do 3 more each side. Single leg bridges are a really nice way to challenge the glutes by getting them to work on their own. Good, last 2. And switch. 1 more each side. Nice, ladies. These are tough. Both feet stay down onto the floor, curling the hips 1 vertebra at a time. Good. Placing the ball between the knees, hugging the knees into the chest, and finding a gentle rock from side to side. Good. Keep the ball where it is. Take both knees over to the left. Arms out into a T shape just to stretch the spine. And start just relaxing through the body a little bit more. Squeezing through the knees. Take the legs over to the other side. A little bit of core work in there. Good. Let's bring those legs all the way up. You can place the ball off to the side. Take that right ankle above the left knee. Either staying here if this is already stretching through the hips, or draw the left knee in towards the chest. Finding that figure 4 stretch, which is a stretch for the glutes and the right outer hip. Place this left foot down. Let's swap over to the other side. Right leg down. And then left ankle above the right knee, either staying there or drawing it into the chest. Good. Releasing. Let's hug those knees into the chest. Find a few rocks up and down. Maybe a little bit of a massage. The key thing here is you really need to round the back to get momentum to bring yourself up into seated. Yeah, when you get into seated, take the hands along the side of the body, bring the arms all the way up, and we'll take that right hand down, stretching over to the right side, and then bringing it up, swap over to the other side, left hand down, just stretching over. Bring it up, let the hands rest down onto the knees, roll the shoulders. Well done for making the time for this practice. I hope the body feels good and strong.